artist has sold over 28 million records. His first album went double platinum. He was a top artist and in the top 40 throughout the 70s and the 80s. He was a staple in the premiere years of MTV. Today, he has a reality series coming out with his family, and he tours to help our vets. We would love to welcome Eddie Money. Thank you so much for coming by, Eddie.
Kiki, thanks so much for having me on the show. I really apprate it.
Now, Eddie, I'm so sorry.
I just got my Pets for Vets shirts. They just sent it to me in the mail.
Nice.
I'll make sure I wear it when I'll make sure I wear it when I'm doing that show with Joe Walsh.
I hope so, because we're going to be there, and I want to see that shirt.
Right on, baby.
Now, Eddie, we were supposed to talk last week, but I was told that you were in Cabo. So the assumption is you're at Sammy's 70th birthday party. Is that true?
Yeah, I was at Sammy's. It was a lot of fun, but of course, she had a really bad strep throat or whatever the hell it was. But we had a great time down there. I mean, it was to give me a really nice condo with my own pool. It was incredible.
Nice.
I felt like Billy Joel for that great guy. It was like incredible, and we had a lot of fun down there. It was good to be back home, though.
Now, did you perform there as well, or did you just go and enjoy the party?
No, I did. I did two songs. I did two Tickets to Paradise on the Wednesday, and then I did it on his birthday on the Friday.
Awesome. Was it as crazy?
He had the guy down there from Nickelback. A lot of people down there performing too. It was a lot of fun.
Nice. All right. Well, we're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Now, Eddie, most people know about your background, but for those who don't, you came from a family full of police officers, and then you jumped in, you were a trainee, I think, and then you jumped back out really fast. What made you say, you know what, this isn't for me, I'm going to go into music?
Well, I was in a rock band in high school, and I found out the best way to date the cheerleaders, if you were too skinny to be on the football team, was be in the rock band in high school. So I was in a rock band in high school. Then my band moved out to California, and I went on the police department because my brother was in Vietnam at the time, and my mother was completely flipped out of her mind. So I went on the police department for 2 years, but I said to myself, wow, I wanted to get out to California and get out and, play rock and roll. So that's what I did. I went out to California, then I found out that the guys on my band were not really that serious like I was. So I left everybody in L.A., and I went up to Northern California, and eventually, about 1975, I got to deal with Columbia Records with Bill Graham.
Yeah, and Bill Graham, now how did he have you, a very famous promoter, how did he have you get promoted? Did you have to do it yourself? Did he help you promote? How did that go?
Well, you know what? Bill was a great guy. He was making a lot of money. He was a big promoter. He had the Fillmore East. He had the Fillmore West. And he wanted to really do something for the people that worked for him, his staff. So what he wanted to do, he had a lot of connections, so he started a record label. It was called Wolfgang Grajunka, which was his original name. And what he did is he started the record label, and he took care of everybody. I was on the label, and he took care of the staff. He was a great, great guy. And of course, I got to do Saturday Night Live, and I was in Merv Griffin, and I did everything. It was fantastic, and I played the US Festival in front of 650,000 people. So I've been having a lot of fun. I had a great. Unfortunately, he died tragically in a helicopter accident back in I think 91 or something.
Right.
But what are you going to do?
But what do you think he saw in you, though, Eddie, at the beginning?
Well, Bill Graham always wanted to be an entertainer, but he just couldn't sing. But he was great. He was really. If you took Bill Graham to a club, he could do the samba. He was really good into those Latin dances, man. He was an incredible dancer. Matter of fact, we went back to Manhattan one time, a couple of times. He would take me up to these clubs in Manhattan, and I'd watch this guy dance. It was like, it's like watching somebody in a movie.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, your first album was named after you. It came out in 1977. It was Billboard Gold. You were singing for the girls. They knew it. You knew it. You had the look. You had the voice. Now you're famous, okay? And we all idolized Dick Clark at the time. What was it like when you first met Dick Clark?
Well, I'll tell you, Dick Clark, he liked me a lot because I remember him back when he was in Philadelphia. I was watching Dick Clark when I was 9, 10, 11 years old. And I had a really great relationship with Dick and with his wife, Kerry. As a matter of fact, I think I was on the Dick Clark show, thanks to him, and Larry Klein was his producer. I think I did Dick Clark more than anybody in the world.
Really?
And when he passed out here in California, it was another sad day. But Dick and I were very close. He was a great, great guy. And being close to Dick Clark, to me, it's a real feather in my cap because, he was Mr. Rock and Roll. There was no doubt about that,
Oh, absolutely. But do you remember the moment that you first met him?
Yes, I did. I did the show. What's the name of the show?
American Bandstand?
The show on in the afternoons. I did the show. It was in California. It was in Los Angeles. and I got to talking to him, and he really liked the fact that I remembered him before he came to California.
Nice.
When I said to him, I just love him in Philly, and when I saw his show in Philadelphia. So he liked the fact that we were kind of a couple of old-timers, you know?
Right. Very cool. Now, you opened
Did you know Dick Clark at all? Did you meet Dick Clark at all?
I never had the luxury of meeting him, but let me tell you, I watched him every single Saturday afternoon.
I know.
Every
and
single.
He was on, and then he had that Where's the Action? He had a lot of great shows, you know?
Oh, he was...
But I remember.
He was amazing, and we all try to mold ourselves. We all have a little Dick Clark in the back of our minds when we're talking, right?
No doubt about that. Dick was really amazing, yeah.
Now, you opened for Santana. You were on the road a lot. You were at the top. Then you disappeared for a little bit. But then Take Me Home Tonight, featuring Ronnie Spector, is released. Eddie's back. What was it like to come back from where you were at that point?
Well, you know, I'll tell you the truth. Working with Ronnie was amazing. I called her up. The so-called the Take Me Home Tonight, and the second chorus was Be My Little Baby, which was her original hit with Phil Spector.
Right.
And I got a hold of her on the telephone. I got a telephone number. I said, "Hi, I'm Eddie Money." She said, "You got the song 2 tickets back?" I said, "Yes." I said, "You know, I got this song. It's a real tribute to you, and it's got your chorus in it. Would you like to come sing it on the record?" And she came out, and she told me so many great stories. You know, she got to meet the Beatles, and she's a great lady. I still run into Ronnie every once in a while on the road. Which is great. We're still very good friends.
Very nice. Now, Eddie, tell us about the time you were fired from the Rolling Stones tour. What happened there?
Well, I don't know if you could say that. That was the mountain turned into a molehill. I mean, what happened is we had that Baby Hold On. We had 2 Tickets to Paradise. It was 1979. I was all over TV, and we were doing really great. And of course, Bill Graham got the Stones tour and stuff like that. And apparently, we did about 4 or 5 shows with the Stones, and I was getting a lot of encores. But I mean, when I went back and met the Stones in person, I was a nervous wreck. When I'm meeting Mick and Keith, and they turned out to be just regular guys. It was really to see musicians or meeting Plant or Page. I met the both of them too, and to realize that we're all like in the same boat. We haven't really changed at all.
Right.
But apparently, we were getting a lot of encores, and the rumor had it is that. Mick wanted to finish up the last 3 or 4 shows with another act. I think so. Cheap Trick got the show. But I mean, it was kind of an honor to think that you got thrown off the Rolling Stones tour for being too good.
We love that, Ed. We love it. Now, you've supported our vets for a very long time. What gave you? Yes, and you've done so much. Now, what gave you the drive to originally help the vets?
Well, my brother was in Vietnam. And my father served in World War II along with all my uncles. And to me, I've always been... And plus, I grew up in Levittown, Long Island, where the Grumman plant was. They built all the F-18s for the Vietnam War and stuff like that. So I was always surrounded by, military people. And coming from Bethpage, Long Island, or Levittown, all the kids there, the parents worked in defense plants, and stuff like that. But I've always been very... I grew up with a lot of, my grandfather was in World War II. My brother was in Vietnam. I got a lot of uncles that were in Korea. I've always done everything I can for the vets. When I run into these families all the time, with all these women and these men that have sons and their daughters are serving all over the world in the military. Sometimes they don't have a lot of money. I throw them a shirt and I find out what's your son's name. His name is Brandon. Brandon, thanks for serving. I throw him a shirt.
Yeah.
I do what I can for the vets. I think the vets really where would we be I sleep so good at night because we have such a great military power in the world. And if we didn't, believe me, look at countries like North Korea.
You're right.
Or countries like Iran. Do you think for 1 second they would care to do, to take advantage of us?
Nope.
Believe me, they would.
Nope, and that is so true. And again, thank you for everything that you're doing. You also have an organization, Pets for Vets. Now, you got the shirts today, so tell us all about that.
Yeah. Well, Pets for Vets is great. I mean, I did a show about 6 months ago, and there was this guy in a wheelchair, and he had lost his leg in Afghanistan on the side of the stage. His name was Sergeant O'Reilly. And he said to me, "Eddie, can I get an autograph?" He said to me, he said to me, "Well, let me get my cell phone." So he had a little dog. His name was Toby, and he said to me, "Go get me Lorraine's cell phone. It's his wife's name." So this little dog ran about 20 feet over to his wife's purse, opened up his wife's purse with his nose, and brought the cell phone back to this guy, this Marine that was in the wheelchair.
Come on.
I said, and he grabbed the nose he grabbed the dog's nose tenderly and looked him right in the eye. I said, He said, Toby, this is Lorraine's cell phone. I want my cell phone. That little son of a bitch and dog went, or I can call him a son of a bitch because that's what he was. That little dog went all the way back and brought him back the right cell phone.
What?
It's amazing.
That's crazy.
He says, Mom, we're really involved with the show Pets for Vets. So since Pets for Vets, I visited about 5 or 6 of them out here in California. And I think it's a great organization because, a lot of times, if there's a wounded vet, the wife's got to be out working all the time, things like that. They could really use the company, and these dogs, it's so great with these vets.
Oh, absolutely.
You got a wounded vet. He's not going to be making the money that he wants to be making, so his wife's going to be working. And I noticed a lot of them, stuck around the house, and for them to be able to have a dog to hang out with, to take care of, it's a real privilege, and it's an honor and a privilege to be able to do something for these guys.
That sounds like a great organization. And now, are you going to be?
It's really amazing. You'd love it.
Are you going to be bringing T-shirts with you to Mohegan Sun on November 3rd?
Yeah, we're going to bring T-shirts, and of course, a lot of the proceeds go for Pets for Vets.
Nice.
Doing that, signing shirts for the kids, and I'm really looking forward to doing that show. I've always been very, very close to Joe Walsh too.
Excellent.
Because he's in a spiritual program like I am, and I just think he's a great guy. He's a great entertainer. Plus, I'm going to see a lot of my family. A lot of my family going to come back to the show Mohegan Sun.
Oh, nice.
My brother's retired. My brother was in Vietnam. He's a retired vet. I got a lot of cousins in the Air Force, stuff like that. So we'll have a lot of people at the show.
Very nice. Now, you've worked with the biggest stars ever. You've worked with Led Zeppelin, you've opened for the Stones, you've been on The Tonight Show, Saturday Night Live, and now your daughter Jess sings with you, and your son Des, he has his own band. Now, your kids grew up with your music. What's it like for the tables to be turned, and now you're supporting them?
Well, it's good, though. I mean, I really like when the kids, Des Money, you can Google them at DEZ, DesMoney.com. My daughter really steals the show out there. She's very great on stage. And
she's awesome.
But then I got my son Julian. He's 21 years old. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He still doesn't got his license. He's like an angry young man. Now, he plays great music behind my son's band, but when he plays for he never really learned Give Me Some Water the way I wanted him to learn Give Me Some Water, or Take a Little Bit. I think the son of a bitch takes advantage of me, but you know what? He's 21 years old, but he's a great drummer, and everybody loves him. But, I mean, I'm going to complain. My wife says to me, quit picking on the kids. What are you, Joe Jackson? But I love my son on drums. I just really wish, then I turn around, he's got shades on and chains around his neck. I don't think he's paying attention. But everybody loves him. I mean, it's a family affair. Having Des up there on guitar and have Jessica doing all the high harmonies and having Julian back there on drums, it's kind of a family affair. People really get a kick out of the kids,
And speaking of the family affair, tell us what we can expect from the reality show. When is this coming out on Access TV?
Oh, it's going to be out really. Sammy Hagar is a really good buddy of mine. We've been friends since the early '70s, and the wives got close. And Sammy's got a show on the road with Sammy Hagar on the road, and we did a thing for Oprah called "Where Are They Now?" The Sizzle Road on me with me and the kids,
yep,
and the wife, and I think Mark Cuban and Ryan Seacrest really liked the idea, and they weren't into reality TV, and I wasn't really into it either. But I mean, the way I look at it is, I have 5 dysfunctional children, and I think it's going to be a big hit.
Oh, I know it's going to be a big hit. You're such a riot.
The kids are all so crazy, but they're very talented, and they had me going to the doctor's office yesterday, and every time the cameras are on, and they got the mic on me, and my daughter and my wife turn into these 2 different people where they can pick on me, and I can't say anything because I got to turn it to Eddie Haskell because it's a TV show.
You're being nice. Come on, that's the whole point of a reality show. You got to be Eddie.
I know, but and then my wife's got to be Lori, and I'm not crazy about that.
I mean, is it weird having the cameras follow you around like that? That's got to be weird.
Yeah, it's a little on the crazy side, but you get used to the people. I mean, they just finished doing this reality show about these people in Alaska. A very dysfunctional family up there, so they're very happy to be working with us. But it's a lot of fun, and it's interesting. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they think the kids are entertaining, and they think me fighting with my wife is funny. I don't, but whatever.
Well, I saw that piece on Oprah a while back, and I'm like, when is this show coming out? I can't wait to see it.
I know everybody's really excited about the show. It's going to be good, but we'll see what happens, But it's a lot of fun. I did a show the other night, and this really good-looking girl was right below my feet, and I looked down and I realized that she was crying. Her eye makeup was running down her cheeks like a little girl that lost a puppy or something. And I was singing 2 tickets, and I couldn't talk to her. And but when the guitar solo came around, I checked and made sure that my wife wasn't going to get pissed off. And I bent down and said, "Hey, baby," she said, "You're standing on my fingers."
Oh my God! I can't even talk. You're making me laugh so much. I can't even talk to you.
It's one of my radio jokes. It's like I went to.
Eddie, what is?
I went to the doctor. Speaking of the doctor, I went to the doctor the other day, and he said to me, "It looks like you're losing weight." I said, "Doc, are you kidding? I am losing weight." He said, "What's going on?" I said, "I don't even eat home anymore." He said, "You don't eat at home? What do you mean?" I said, "I think my wife is trying to poison me." He said, "Lori, aren't you married like 31 years?" I said, "Doc, I'm telling you, the woman's trying to poison me." He said, "Look, give me your wife's number. I'm going to call her. Call me back tomorrow at 4:30. So I called him back at 4:30 the next day, and I said, "Did you get a chance to talk to my wife?" He said, "Talk to your wife." I was on the phone with that woman for an hour and a half. Take the poison.
All right, forget singing. You know what I mean? Just do the stand-up. You can.
My wife doesn't think I'm funny. What are you going to do?
You're funny. She thinks you're funny. She does.
No, she doesn't.
Now, Eddie, when you get on stage, right, and you've sang all these songs.
Lori and I are going to be on TV this Thursday, 9:30. I don't want you guys to miss that.
When? Tell us.
9:30. This Thursday, yeah.
Tonight or next week?
Next week, yeah. In the morning.
Okay, so what network?
It's Divorce Court.
I fell for that. Jeez. Oh my God, I can't. I'm trying to keep it together here. But anyway. All right, you get up on stage, you sing your songs. What is still your favorite song to sing to everybody? And it still just makes you crazy.
Everybody loves 2 Tickets to Paradise.
Yep.
I mean, the songs that people really love are the songs that I'm going to fall in love with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody loves Baby Over. I mean, if you think about it, I had like 16 songs in the top 100. That's a lot of tunes.
Yep, that's a
like
lot.
A Billy Joel or a Steely Dan. I mean, we really had a lot of. Speaking of artists, I mean, losing Tom Petty last week really broke my heart.
Now,
he lived right down the street. He lived right down the street from me. I was with him in January. I went to that dinner that they had for him.
Okay.
For that, for Artist of the Year for the Grammys.
Wow.
And he's only 66 years old, and we came out the same year together. Tom and I both came out in 1976 together.
So did you perform together back in the day a lot?
Oh, of course we did. We did a lot of shows together.
What was your favorite?
I at least used to like it because I used to get better reviews than him.
Oh my God.
He used to hate it, but you know what? He turned out to be a fantastic artist. I mean, she was an American Girl, and I mean, look at those fantastic songs he had.
People are still in shock about the whole thing.
Oh my God! I think he's one of the greatest American artists in the world. I put him right up there with the Beatles. Oh,
I mean, he had talk about hits. I mean, and just talk about a tone, and he was amazing. So, yeah, totally huge loss for the music community.
Right, and I heard he had a crazy wife too. Lit his house on fire. Reminds me of my wife. You know.
Oh my God, Eddie, you're so funny. All right.
The cop said to me, "Why'd you throw the phone at your wife?" I said, "Officer, you don't know my wife. I was just trying to knock the knife out of her hand."
Oh my God. Are you like this all the time?
I'm just hanging out. I got to get ready. I'm off to the dentist in an hour, and I don't want to get there because I got the Raiders on TV at the same time that the Dodgers are on TV.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm gonna be in the dental chair. What do you think about that crap?
Not good. Not good.
No,
Eddie, we just want to thank you so much for all of your great music. Thank you for the work that you do with our military, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday, November 3rd at Mohegan Sun for Vets Rock with Tony Orlando and Joe Walsh. Thank you so much, Eddie.
Tony's the greatest, huh?
Tony
Orlando's
awesome.
a good buddy. Oh, I love Man with Dawn, Violet, Yellow Ribbon. One of the greatest songs ever. And Tony is a sweetheart, and Joe's great, and it's going to be a fantastic show. And, of course, thank you so much, Kiki, for a great interview. And I want to thank all the veterans and all the men and women that are serving our country all over the world. From the bottom of my heart and from my family side, I want to thank all of you.